Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Young Reech Capital's live stream on Bitcoin. We are looking pretty good. We are very close to the all-time highs. Been a couple of days since I have come on to the live stream. I was traveling, but now I'm back. And let's dive right in. Let's jump into it right away and see what Bitcoin's up to. We are at $109,000 right now. Bitcoin's all-time high was at 109,588, if I'm not mistaken. At the moment, we are looking pretty good. In my previous live streams, I had put together a couple of price points. I'm gonna zoom out to the 1 hour chart and take a look at what we are trying to achieve. All right. Great. So as I had mentioned, we have these levels. If you notice right here at this far left corner, right here, this was our all-time high. This was on the 20th Jan of the beginning of this year, just a day or on the day of Trump's inauguration is when we hit all-time high of 109K, and then we went all the way down to $74,000, and we've had this big move up. I had mentioned that this zone would be a resistance, a supply zone, but looks like the price has been front running. Even though, if you noticed, we had this rejection here, we had a couple of rejections here, trying to bring the price slightly down below this zone. So we're just slightly below the all-time high right now, very close to breaking through and pretty much hitting our next target, which is going to be the, I had mentioned, I think it was a $120,000. I'm not mistaken. Let me pull up the Bybit chart, right? I think it was a Bybit chart. Um, I think it was the finance chart. Wasn't even the finance chart. Phoenix. Right. Yeah, so what we can expect right now is these levels, these price points that I have marked out on the chart are essentially going to be really key and powerful levels to look after on the Bitcoin chart. This is on the 1 hour chart. So if anybody's wondering what to do right now with Bitcoin and in general how to approach it, I'm just going to break it down. Keep it simple. I'm gonna move these price points slightly to get rid of this one. All right. So as I had mentioned, right here we had a supply zone which we did break out of. We broke out of it today actually, and looks like we are now approaching the all-time high of $109,900. So pretty much just about there, right here. So what can we expect? I'm gonna do something. Let me go back to this chart slightly cleaner. This is my standard disclaimer. All right. So if you look at this move right here, pretty much coincides with this move. Essentially, the demand of this move is coinciding with the demand of this move. Pretty much the same, right? But we have had a much cleaner move in comparison to this. We did chop around a bit before we came back down. So, what can we expect on Bitcoin? Right now, I'm looking at this trend that has been forming ever since April 8th, since Mr. Trump lifted the tariff on China, then pretty much pushing the Bitcoin price by about 33, 34,000 points, pretty much. Pretty crazy move, as a matter of fact. It's about a 44% move in a span of a month and a half. Right. So we have this uptrend that has been forming. So I'm not going to be looking for any shorts until we break down from this and we retest this. This is going to be my short move. So at the moment, I'm not going to be looking at any sell opportunities until we break this consolidation. Right here, if you see this consolidation, it's going to be a very important consolidation zone. So the price is going to have to move below this level of 101,000 and close multiple candles below and then retest it for a move down, which we're pretty much going to see quite soon because the price is now starting to exhaust itself. If you notice, let me show you what I mean by exhaustion. What that means is the price is forming some is going to start forming some sort of divergence scenario, right? The price is moving up, but the RSI is not really showing much strength. Same thing happened here. The price moving up and the RSI was moving down, and then of course we got this big move down. So I'm expecting something similar to happen on Bitcoin right here. We still have yet to go. A little bit more juice is left on Bitcoin to kind of come close to these highs on the RSI. So we still have like this much of a move. So what can we expect? We can expect something like this. Let me first find out some potential demand and supply areas. Right. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Fibonacci to give me a good idea. All right. So I drew the Fibonacci levels. These are going to be your key levels. So from this high to this low is where I drew the Fibonacci, right? This high and this low. So now if you notice these levels, this is the point minus 0.25, the minus 0.5 and the minus 0.618. So this zone right here is going to be the target for Bitcoin, which is going to be anywhere between $118,000 all the way up to $131,000. This zone right here is going to be the next target for Bitcoin all the way. And most likely we're going to tap into this 0 0.5 standard deviation and then we will see what the price does, right? So that would then give us a move of about 17% from here. Honestly, I'm not really expecting it to rally all the way up so quickly. It might face some rejection here because of course, as you very well know, the all-time high is going to be an area of resistance. If I pull up the daily chart, you will see something similar happened during the 2021 bull run, right? So we had this all-time high, and we've had a move down all the way into the 30K, 29K region. Then we move back up, back into the all-time high region here. Then we swept the liquidity, which essentially gave us a very minor move. Wasn't a very big move above the all-time high. So this was the all-time high, right? This level. So if you see, this was just a small move up of about 7-8%, which was about a 5,000 point move, give or take, right? And then as soon as we swept the liquidity above this, we came back down. So it's very likely that something similar happens here as well, right? So history pretty much tends to repeat itself in similar patterns. So you see this bull flag pattern that we broke out of in October of 2024. We will probably see something like that again in October, November, but it could be inverted. What that means is we might see a potential bear flag formation once we hit this zone, right, of the 0.25 or the zero point 0.5 level, which will essentially give us a move above the all-time high into these zones similar to this, right? Because of this massive move, we can expect a much larger swing failure pattern. What that means is it also the other well-known terminologies for swing failure patterns are liquidity sweeps, inducements, and whatnot. Yeah, whatever. Right. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is we might be creating a similar pattern as we did in the 2021 bull market, and then of course we had this major move. We created a cup and handle formation, and then we moved up. So, if we are just looking at a standard cup and handle formation, right? This move right here is what is known as a cup and handle, and then we broke out of it, right? So, if I have to measure out the move of the cup and handle, let's say from here to here, it was, yeah, this move. This is precisely what we are having. So this will be measured from the breakout, right? So technically here. So that's what I'm looking at. See, as I said, I mean, see, it won't be exact since because nothing is perfect, but something close to this. So if you measure the move, this demand that was created from the 17,000, the 15,000 to 17,000 bottom of Bitcoin in 2022, this entire demand that was created all the way up to this zone right here, right? If we measure that, we get something like this because this is where we broke out of. So essentially, we take this demand here and we place it here, right above the breakout, which would then give us this move of what I was saying, which is again coinciding with the uh, Fibonacci levels of the golden pocket, also the standard deviations right here. This zone would be the next target for Bitcoin. And then we can expect some sort of rejection out here, like a really major rejection. No doubt, we will absolutely be able to see some potential rejection here. Without a doubt, I'm quite certain of that. Um, there were a lot of people who were expecting Bitcoin to take a rejection around the golden pocket of this move right here. As I had mentioned as well, right? I myself personally was looking at some potential short opportunities here at this level, which was the 99,000 to 100,000 range. I was looking for some shorts here. As soon as, of course, I had a confirmation of this trend line break, I would have taken a short here. I was expecting something like this to play out, but we didn't get that. I also said that the alternative would have been invalidation of that thesis of getting rejected here if we front run this price and hit the zero point 0.9 level, which is this, right? If we hit this zero point 0.9 level, I had said that this would be my invalidation, and we have achieved invalidation just now. This candle, as we're speaking, as I'm going live, this daily candle is now pretty much invalidating the 0.9 level, which means to say that Bitcoin is absolutely bullish, without a doubt. I'd also mentioned that we have this fair value gap right here. So there is a lot of strength, a lot of support forming on Bitcoin. We did look at all of these wicks, how it beautifully took all the bids of this fair value, and we didn't even come into the consequent encroachment, which is the 50% level of the fair value, right? We haven't even come close to the 50% of this. We literally stayed above the 50% level, and then we kind of went back up. Usually what the price likes to do is wick into the 50% level of the fair value and then go back up, but we didn't do that, which means to say it's way more bullish than expected, right? So we have had multiple reasons to be bullish. We broke out of this massive downtrend. Now we are forming this huge uptrend. Then also we are now approaching all-time highs. We're pretty much at all-time highs, right? Because we're couple of $100 away from the all-time high. So what can you expect with the Bitcoin price? What are we looking at right now? How can we better understand the price action and how can we better trade it at this very moment? My recommendation would be simple. Like what I'm going to be doing is what I'm going to say, right? Easy things is just stay patient, let the market show some form of structure, essentially a structure that will describe the price towards some sort of direction. Right now, the direction is to the upside, but as I always say, we would rather buy at a level of discount rather than a premium, right? So we are at a premium level. These are all premium levels. This is a range high. This is a range high, and this is a range low. So I'm not going to be a buyer here. I have not been a buyer since this level, right? I still haven't been making. I've been taking scalps in Bitcoin, of course. I've been doing some intraday moves, quick scalps, but I haven't been a swing long buyer on Bitcoin because I've been waiting for the price to come back into some better levels for me to place bids on, right? These would be all these levels. Anything below this 50% level, essentially this level right here, right? So I've drawn out this blue line. Anything below this level is going to be where I'd be interested in taking buys. And anything above this level essentially is where I'd be looking to take any sells. But we still have not got any confirmation of a sell opportunity. So I'm not going to be taking any sells as yet. I'm talking about in the long term or like a swing trade that I want to probably hold for some time. I'll only do that once I get a confirmation of a candle close below this, multiple candle closes below this. So essentially, it looks something like this. Then we retest this, and we come back into the 50% level right here. It should be the 92K level. So yeah, the 92K level would be key level to watch out for. We do have this fair value gap right here as well. This is a fair value to watch out for. So that's what I'm saying. So anything below this blue line, which is the anything below $94,000 would be a clean trading opportunity. Cool. So this is what we're looking at for Bitcoin. We go into the 5 minutes, take a look. Yeah, pretty great bullish price action going on right now for BTC. Absolutely crazy bullish momentum forming on BTC. No doubt that it's going to be difficult for the short sellers right now. There are a lot of people short selling the market, and that's precisely why we're having these moves. So, what is known as a short squeeze, when the open interest starts imbalancing and moving and kind of accumulates a lot of orders towards one side, and there is a momentum shift in a direction where the market moves the opposite way, all the people who were placed, say for example, in this move right here, all the people who were pretty much placed short with this, right? And then everybody above this level have now gotten stopped out, which is known as a short squeeze. And that's precisely what's playing out right now. I wouldn't recommend taking a trade right now because it's too volatile. I don't prefer taking these breakout trades. I'm not a big fan of taking a breakout trade when it's so volatile. I'd rather take the breakout trade out here. This would have been a good breakout trade um, at the New York Open. This would have been a lovely trade to take right here. That's a 3,000 point move. Because of course, see, why I would recommend a breakout trade in this zone rather than this breakout. So there's an opportunity for a breakout here as well, right? As in when at this very moment we have broken out of this pattern, which is a bullish pattern. The reason why I say it's not recommended, I wouldn't be taking a trade right here, is because we don't have enough confluence to expect the price to do much. Here we had multiple confirmations to take that move, right? We have a confirmation that we've come into the 50%, like the mean deviation, like we just what that essentially means, it's coming back to a mean price, like a mean a fair price, and it comes back to the 50% or the zero level usually, and also kind of tapping into this trend line, right? This is going to be a confirmation number one. Then this is going to be a confirmation number two. Same trend line tap and also close to the mean deviation. And of course, our third confirmation is going to be this breakout right here of this trend line, right? So that's what I mean by a much more higher probable trade opportunity. And I did not take this trade. I could have, but I was sleeping at that time. I didn't really get to see this breakout happen. I saw it around this part. Anyway, yeah, there's always an opportunity right around the corner. I don't really regret not taking any trades. Every now and then I will probably regret not taking a trade, but that's part of life. That's how it happens here and then. No problem. So as I said, quite simple. We got to just wait, have patience. I'm not going to be a trader right now. I'm just going to be an observer. Very simple. I'm going to wait for the price to show me some more conviction, some more opportunity to stay consistent with the price, stay as consistent in terms of structure, right? So, for example, right now, the reason why I'm not trying to buy into Bitcoin or I'm not trying to take a scalp trade is because we are already at a overbought level on the RSI. Look at how overbought we are. We are so overbought that honestly, there's no point in taking a trade. Why would I buy at an overbought level, right? I don't think anybody wants to do that. Simple, basic common sense is to just wait it out and let the market structure shift when it reaches an overbought or an oversold level, right? For example, let me give you an example such as this. If you noticed, this was on Tuesday, this was yesterday during the New York Open. We had the price tap into the oversold region, then we had this trend line break, same with the RSI. We had confirmation, multiple, one, two, three, and four. We had four confirmation play out simultaneously. So that gives me a good opportunity to take this long. Could have taken profits here, or you could have held this through this small move down and then continue to hold your trade. So these are so many opportunities just by following simple dynamics of overbought and oversold regions. And this is where I'd be looking to take a long, right? Or I'd be looking to I'd be looking to take a long at a certain region where there is more confluence, where there is an important zone of confluence. That would be more important for the price to then show specific regions of support or resistance. This is what I'm looking at right now. This is what I'm looking at right here. Anyway, that's what I meant by overbought and oversold levels. And if yeah, what I was saying is if at all we don't get an opportunity to hit into the overbought or oversold regions, like for example here we didn't get a full move all the way down into this region here. So we are essentially going to be looking for some sort of trend break, right? That's what happened right here at the New York Open. We had this trend break and we were close to we were essentially at a discounted level. We were below the 50% level on the RSI. So that gives us a opportunity to look for some longs, right? So this was a good opportunity to take this long. Could have taken a long on this retest if you wanted more confluence. Absolutely possible opportunity. But right now, all I'm going to be looking for is some potential short opportunities. Not going to be looking for any long opportunities. Just gonna have to wait and see how the price reacts at these levels now. Gonna have to stay consistent with our patience and just wait it out, relax, see what happens. Not gonna be taking any trades today. Gonna keep it easy. Gonna keep it very simple and just gonna break down the charts. Just let's quickly go through. There we go. All right. So this is SUI on the 1 hour time frame. We are still within the supply zone. Going to be resisting out here, but it does look like we're breaking out. Potentially a long opportunity on SUI. Absolutely. Fartcoin also looks like we're breaking out of Fartcoin. Almost all of it is now breaking out. Looking great. Altcoins looking pretty cool. As I had said, that this demand zone is going to be a very key zone. This 1.2515 is going to be an important level, as I said. And look at the beautiful support, getting a lovely pump on Fartcoin. Peanut as well. Beautiful, beautiful trading opportunity on Peanut. I'd set up this demand zone and just look at this amazing, amazing, amazing confluence. Exactly the price point that I had set up. Look at where it has taken support, and now we're going up. Trump token, same thing. I analyzed this 2 weeks ago, and look at what it's doing right here. Beautiful stuff happening. It's going to EOS. As I said, with EOS as well, it's something that I was looking forward to seeing is it coming into this trend line and then going back up. This was a price point that I had set up, which was 7354. It did come a little below, but that's all right. We're going to come back up. We mark out this. All right, all right, all right, all right. There we go. This is what I had set up for. There we go. This is what I'd set up for EOS, and then we're looking at something similar happening out here. So we might be getting a breakout soon on EOS as well. Ondo, yeah, yeah. I'm just going through my own altcoin breakdowns and how lovely. Look at how clean this trend line tap was. We had this beautiful move up. Pendle, wow. This is a move that I had suggested on the live. This is a trade that I had suggested on the live stream. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks, yes. It's been 2 weeks since I'd set up this move on Pendle. And Just take a look at what a lovely reaction Pendle has had. We came close to our stop, but we did not get stopped out because I had set up this stop right below this low, and I'll be targeting this. So if anybody had taken this trade, you'd be in about 10% profit right now on Pendle. Beautiful trade. Zen also similar, but we are looking a little more rough on Zen, not too great. These are going to be key levels. Dogecoin, beautiful. Simple stuff on Dogecoin. I had mentioned that we might be coming in to tap this 20 cent mark, but we didn't really get into that 20 cent. We came close to it, this key level, but then yeah, but we still broke out of this trend line. Beautiful stuff happening on Doge. Solana, nothing much. XRP, nothing much. Tau, actually, Tau looking pretty good, no doubt. Tau is looking pretty good. Tau's always traded well this entire season. Really good stuff on Tau. Almost all the altcoins having similar formations patterns that are forming. So good time to trade, no doubt. But at the moment, as I said, I'm not going to be trading today. I'm just going to be an observer. I'm going to wait for the market to do its thing and show me some good confluence, show me some potential opportunities, better and more cleaner opportunities is what I would say, rather than a impulsive decision because of some random things happening, right? I'm not going to be impulsive for no reason. Just because I see this kind of thing happening, yeah, maybe the price might rally further and go up. Sure, so what? I don't really mind the price kind of going away from me, and then I'm not going to sit and worry about the fact that I didn't take a trade. There's no problem at all because there's always a trade right around the corner. There's always an opportunity. So no trade is better than a trade that you take out of impulsive behavior and take a loss. Maybe you might take a profit, but more often than not, it's better to stay and stick to your strategy and be disciplined about your approach to trading generally. And that can apply to any field in the world. Right. Anyway, what we're seeing right now is on the 1 minute Bitcoin chart. We've had a breakout with the New York Open. And ironically, the days that I haven't been trading, past couple of, I think live stream last on Friday, and the entire last uh, week of trading was so difficult, for a lack of a better word. It was so choppy and manipulating all throughout the New York Open, right? And as soon as I entered into this week, when I haven't really traded for the past 2 days, I haven't gone live, right? The New York Open has been so explosive that it's been giving some beautiful opportunities. So this was the New York Open. Look at this. That's a 3,000 point move ever since the New York market opened. And same thing yesterday as well. As in when the New York market was opening up, we had this massive move. Let's go back to Monday and let's see what we had on Monday. Precisely the same thing. Literally the same thing. Literally the same exact thing played out on Monday. What a beautiful move on Monday. 4,000 point on Monday. Similar on Tuesday and similar today as well. And yeah, possibly something similar might happen tomorrow and day after as well. So let's just watch out. I'm gonna kind of come back to the live scene a little earlier from tomorrow. Today became a bit late. I'm going to start streaming from 6:45 p.m. rather than, or probably 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. depending on the price action. As soon as I see an opportunity, I'm going to get into it. Been a bit tired traveling these past few days, so I'm going to get back to it much earlier tomorrow on the stream. All right, so I think this is it for today's stream. As I said, I'm not going to be looking to take any trades today. The price is just doing its own thing. Let it do its own thing. No worries. As soon as I see an opportunity tomorrow, I'm hoping to then take a trade. So, yeah, with that being said, awesome. Bitcoin is at very close to all-time highs and possibly going to break all-time highs as well, most likely today. And yeah, lovely, lovely time to be alive and see how crypto is developing and making a mark in today's world. Great, great stuff. And as I've always said, my door is always open to anyone. You can always send me a message, ask me questions, whatever it is. I'm here to help people grow together. And yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make some money moves so that we can all truly become financially independent and debt free, all of it, and live the life on our own terms, pretty much, without having to depend on anything or anyone. All right, cool. So I'll be back tomorrow around the New York Open. Hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening, whichever part of the world you are all from. And yes, take care of yourselves, trade safely, and I will see you all on the next one.